Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West Texas.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for CBS7 News on the CW. And thanks to those of you joining us live from the CBS7 YouTube. I'm Laura Munt and we start tonight with some news that could affect how you get your health care. Today, Stewart Health filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Both Odessa Regional Medical Center and Scenic Mountain Medical Center in Big Spring are under the Stewart Health umbrella. And it's important to note that Stewart hospitals and offices are open and will continue to serve their patients. Stewart Health voluntarily filed petitions for relief in order to get funding for Medical Properties Trust, at first receiving $75 million and up to $225 million if certain conditions are met and approved by the Medical Properties Trust. Stacy Brown, president of ORMC and SMMC, said in a statement, quote, Odessa Regional Medical Center and Scenic Mountain Medical Center have served this region for almost 50 years. Our hospitals and clinics remain open and ready to take care of our patients, both locally and in the surrounding region. And Midland Memorial Hospital has achieved a Level 2 Geriatric Emergency Department accreditation, which means that MMH Emergency Department is the second highest rated facility for geriatric care in the state of Texas. The hospital earns the accreditation by proving performance in staffing, education, and geriatric-focused policies and protocols. Also efficient preparation of the treatment care, among other goals and criteria. In 20 years of the Women Go Red event, 75 years of the Medical Center Health System, and 100 years of the American Heart Association. All of those anniversaries combined made for a very memorable and informational event on women's and men's health. Panelists and speakers talked about the American Heart Association's Life Essential 8, which are 8 things to watch out for when maintaining your health, including managing weight, being more active, controlling cholesterol, quitting tobacco, getting healthy sleep, managing your blood sugar and blood pressure, and finally, eating better.
My go-to recommendation for diet is anything whole foods, real foods. Foods that you can understand when you're reading the back of a package. Can you read the words? Do you know what the words are? Shopping the perimeter of the grocery store, picking those whole food options such as your fruits, your veggies, your proteins such as beef, chicken, turkey, and sticking to that is going to be the easiest and simplest way to improve your diet.
The panel also spoke on improving and maintaining cardiovascular health is proven to help lower the risk for heart disease, strokes, and other major health problems. And today we have new details after the city of Midland announced yesterday that some of the county's mosquito population has tested positive for the West Nile virus. Here are a few things you need to know about this. Up to 80% of people infected by West Nile virus will have no symptoms. However, if you do feel any headaches, have a fever, experience muscle and joint aches, nausea, fatigue, or a rash, it's recommended you see your doctor. Some ways you can protect yourself from mosquito bites is by applying EPA-approved insect repellent before going outdoors and wearing long sleeves and pants when outside.
Right now, this is just awareness, letting the community know that there is West Nile in the community detected in the mosquitoes, and just to be on the lookout if you are symptomatic, making sure, again, that you're going to talk to your primary care physician.
Another thing you can do to prevent mosquito bites is dumping any sitting water around your home. Whether it's a bucket of water, water sitting out for your dog, this can become a breeding ground for dangerous mosquitoes. And after the largest wildfire in Texas history and a recent wildfire in Alpine, fire danger is the top of mind for state leaders. Yesterday, Governor Greg Abbott announced that when a red flag warning is in effect, the state will provide additional resources for the Panhandle and some West Texas towns. That includes Alpine and Fort Davis. Now, fire departments who don't have a lot of resources to begin with won't have to wait for hours for the resources to come. They'll be in town and ready to help.
So the governor opening up these resources to us is going to be incredible to our area. Because out here we're very resource strapped.
Some of the far West Texas towns are currently under a red flag warning that won't expire until 8 o'clock tonight. But thanks to the heavy rainfall this weekend, places like Midland and Odessa are not under that warning.
We're not that far into our drought. We're only about 0.82, 0.83 inches below where we should be. So we are kind of being, even though we're still going to be dealing with dry air too, our vegetation is kind of what's preventing us from meeting the criteria right now for a red flag warning.
If you're living in one of the towns with a red flag warning, it's important to not burn anything outside. That includes not throwing any cigarette butts on the ground. We're going to take a pause now and talk your weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller. Tom, what can we expect as we head into the week?
Well, we are going to be looking at fire danger concerns starting to go down a little bit as a cold front swings those winds around to the northeast tomorrow and helps cool things off. It was a hot one today, 92 out at the Miller National Air and Spaceport with 93 in the cities of Midland and Odessa, 94 over towards Big Spring. Hot spots, Fort Stockton, Presidio up to 96 and triple digits down towards Rio Grande Village and Terlingua, as we are seeing those maximum wind gusts today approaching 40 miles an hour in a few locations. That combined with low humidity levels led to some fire danger concerns that are going down for tonight, along with temperatures currently dropping down into the mid to lower 80s across the area as humidity levels are starting to come back up. So a little good news there. And the winds are calming down at the present time, not looking at too much in the way of gusts above 20 miles an hour, except over here across portions of southeast New Mexico. So again, a quieter evening on the way as temperatures will slide down only around 60 on the overnight low, but some milder weather is ahead. We'll talk about that and rain chances for the Mother's Day weekend here in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Tom. In some oil and gas news now, California lawmakers are working to decide whether their state will implement a price gouging penalty aimed to hold oil companies accountable for spiking gas prices. The law was at the center of a special session, that California Governor Gavin Newsom called last year in response to high gas prices. As Ashley Zavala reports, in a commission hearing on Tuesday, there were many questions about how the law could impact the market and gas prices.
This is one of the most important charts.
California lawmakers checking in on the state's new law that attempts to hold oil companies accountable for spiking gas prices.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that your assessment so far did not indicate any clear evidence of price gouging in this marketplace. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Siva Gunda, the vice president of the California Energy Commission, told the key committee in the state Senate, while there's no evidence of price gouging, oil companies are profiting off of price spikes. The commission is deciding if it will set a profit limit and potential penalty on oil companies that make too much money off of California drivers. Gunda faced many questions about how this could impact the market and gas prices.
We are still in the process of evaluating the opinions of the experts we have.
Okay.
Currently, what we understand is there's a divergence of opinion.
Oil industry leaders warned a profit cap and penalty could drive refiners out of state and limit the state's supply. Democrats split.
Some of us come from very disadvantaged communities. These are the consumers that are going to really bear the brunt of the cost hikes.
I think personally that the oil companies, the four major companies that control our refinery market here, are manipulating prices.
Even a state lawmaker from Arizona stopped in to say this would have a negative impact beyond California.
Now, we all need each other. We need you for fuel. You need us for electricity, right? We all have to work together in the West.
The leader of the Western States Petroleum Association echoing this.
I really would like to get back to where we worked together to solve problems. In this state, we used to do that. And right now, it's just political rhetoric and division.
The commission is set to vote on whether to implement the profit limit and cap before the end of the year. And the Texas Tribune is hosting a free event tomorrow, online or in person at Odessa College's Salisbury Center. The Tribune hosted a similar event today, which explored how the oil industry has changed the community here in the Permian Basin.
That I truly believe that is our most important resource. It's not what's under the ground. It's absolutely the people above the ground out here that make the difference. We wouldn't be able to produce the resources we produce out here without those people.
If you're interested in attending tomorrow's panel, it'll be at noon at the Odessa College Salisbury Center. And as high school seniors anxiously prepare for graduation, ECISD parents are excitedly preparing for Project Graduation. Organizers are aiming to raise $25,000 this year. Project Graduation started 30 years ago by planners in Maine, where a total of 18 seniors died in an alcohol-related crash. To stop similar tragedies, parents across the nation have taken to fundraising to provide safe parties for high school seniors.
So it's an alternative to student-led parties that you can go out and have those peer pressures that, hey, somebody might be drinking alcohol and doing drugs. But Project Graduation is going to be safe in that you don't have to worry about any peer pressure or risky behaviors.
There will be 750 graduating seniors at ECISD, and the party will have raffles, prizes, and games. The Project Graduation Party will be hosted at Odessa College. Now we're one day away from the Region 5 softball playoffs at Manor Park in Lubbock. Last year's champions, the Odessa College Lady Wranglers, are ready to defend their crown. It was a brand new team this year for the Wranglers under new head coach Doug Eastman. This season, Eastman won his 900th career game as head coach while leading the team to the Whack-Jack title while finishing 38-12 overall. OC is riding a 13-game win streak and is coming into the tournament with sky-high confidence.
We're feeling good right now. We're hitting well. Our fielding's on fire, and we're just excited to show it off in regionals and hopefully make it to nationals and show it off there too. It's just we're all finally coming together, and we're just really excited.
If we play well, we will win. Our first opponent's either, it's a couple of teams we had a lot of success with, so we feel comfortable going into game one. We'll see who it is. It doesn't really matter to us. And then I assume, like everybody assumes, that the second game will be us against Midland.
First pitch will be tomorrow at 5:30 at Lubbock Christian University, and the Wranglers will face the winner of Howard College and Frank Phillips. We will also have baseball being played in Lubbock tomorrow. The UTBB Falcons will face the Lubbock Christian Chaparrals in the second round of the Lone Star Tournament. Lubbock Christian finished #1 in the Lone Star Conference, but UTBB head coach Gabe Grinder preaches a lot of confidence, in his team heading into tomorrow's matchup.
We took 3 or 4 from Lubbock, split with Angelo, took 3 or 4 from Eufus. So we've beat everyone. So for me, I know we're the 4th seed and we're the 3rd lowest seed out of 4, but I don't feel like we're necessarily an underdog because we've gone toe-to-toe with all the teams that are in this.
First pitch tomorrow is at 6 o'clock, and that makes 3 of our local teams that have playoff games tomorrow night in Lubbock. For even more local sports coverage, be sure to tune in to CBS7 News at 10 for sports with Sports Director Jair Brooks Davis. And mark your calendars. The City of Midland Parks and Recreation Division has announced the 2024 Movies in the Parks. This summer, they'll show 7 movies, including Disney's Elemental, Trolls Band Together, and Kung Fu Panda 4. The first movie will be shown on May 17th at Centennial Park, and all of these movies will start at dusk. For a full schedule of movies and locations, visit the City of Midland's website. And still ahead, the aftermath of tornadoes across the Midwest, how thousands were impacted, up next. It was a terrifying night for thousands of people in the path of powerful twisters across the Midwest. Tornadoes were spotted in Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio, with extensive damage reported. Dave Malkoff is following the storms in hard-hit Barnsdall, Oklahoma.
Crews are searching demolished buildings in Portage, Michigan to make sure no one is trapped in the rubble after 2 confirmed tornadoes inflicted extensive damage in the small town Tuesday night.
Your house being there 1 second, and then the next thing you know, it's just, you can't live there anymore.
Isaiah Erickson lost all his possessions, but the area had no reports of deaths or serious injuries. Across the Midwest, twisters hit a number of communities overnight, including Milroy, Indiana, and Salina, Ohio. In Barnsdall, Oklahoma, an EF4 tornado took out neighborhoods up to 70 homes on Monday night. It's going to take a while to clean all this up because we are still surrounded by debris everywhere. Things like this wooden beam right here that were swirling around in the winds 170 miles an hour.
It feels devastating to look at this when you've worked your whole life.
Jimmy Blake rode out the storm in a shelter with her grandson and other family members.
I prayed in the car 3 times. It was overwhelming.
Despite the damage, she is grateful.
To know that I'm safe, my husband's safe, my mother's safe, and my 8-year-old grandson's safe, and so are all of my animals. I'm very thankful for that.
Forecasters say the storm threat moves mid-south today, where tornadoes, damaging wind, and flooding are all possible. Dave Malkoff, CBS News, Barnsdall, Oklahoma.
Well, we are going to be looking at a few scattered showers, possible rumbles of thunder in the weekend forecast. Unfortunately, just in time for Mother's Day. We're going to take a look at that and this cold front coming up next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, let's take a look at those weather makers right now and show you that we're still dealing with a big upper-level storm across north-central portions of the U.S. and the upper plains. Well, that is kicking off numerous showers and storms across portions of, well, the Arklatex into portions of the mid-Mississippi Valley this evening. Numerous tornado warnings in effect across portions of Tennessee, back up into Kentucky. Back towards West Texas again, we are looking at pretty quiet conditions with a southwesterly flow in the upper levels of the atmosphere. But this trough, though, extends back across portions of southwest U.S. into California. That is what's going to swing a cold front through, and then we're going to be in the setup for some disturbances to round the base of this trough and maybe kick off some scattered showers, thunder showers this weekend. Now, right now across the state of Texas, things got going here across portions of northeast Texas from near the Dallas-Fort Worth area up towards McKinney near Greenville right now. Had a tornado warning earlier near Powderly, just north of the Paris area there in Lamar County. That activity is moving off to the east and northeast. And again, we're quiet here across West Texas. It was a hot one today across the western half of the state. Temperatures into the 90s, all the way up to 95 in Dallas, setting a record high for today. And at one time, heat index values were into triple digits. And that's what we saw across a lot of portions of south central and southeast Texas. Now take a look at those winds. Again, they are going to calm down a little bit overnight tonight, but then tomorrow afternoon we start to see them start out of the west, and here comes that front dropping down, a backdoor front moving in from northeast to southwest across the area, causing gusty winds into tomorrow afternoon. Red flag warnings are over with for tonight, but we are going to be looking at cooler temperatures again behind that front. Lower 60s on the way overnight tonight, and again picking up more of a northeasterly wind across the Permian Basin later on in the day tomorrow, as we're expecting another hot one near 90 degrees, but 77 behind the front on Friday. Then a disturbance rolls across late Friday night into Saturday, kicking off some scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, going for about a 40 to 30% chance Saturday into Mother's Day on Sunday. Right now, best bet's going to be west of the Pecos River, but definitely something you want to keep in mind with any outdoor plans this weekend.
Still ahead, we've all seen the tiny house shows on TLC. But what if the houses on that show could help the homeless population? Coming up next, how a town in California is doing just that. A town in Southern California is getting a lot of attention for the way it's tackling the homeless crisis. Officials in Ojai have created their own encampment steps from City Hall, featuring waterproof canvas tents for people who have been priced out of their homes. About 30 people are now living in the 8-acre campsite, many who grew up in this small community, and even more canvas tents are being built.
We can't afford rent. We're doing what we can and still trying to stay happy about it.
We know everyone who lives here by name at this point. I think it's a beautiful example of community stepping in and working together to find the best solution for a situation that is really challenging.
Governor Gavin Newsom recently announced nearly $192 million in grants to help address homeless encampments in California. Ojai is banking on the $12.7 million it received from the state for the construction of tiny homes that can be a pathway to permanent housing. All right, Tom, before we go, today was Introduce a Girl to Engineering Day with ExxonMobil. Take a look at some of these pictures. 80 Midland ISD 8th graders and ExxonMobil engineers teamed up for a day full of experiments and problem-solving activities. The goal is to inspire young girls to consider careers in engineering. I think we're looking at some future Exxon employees there.
Oh yeah, future engineers there and scientists that are going to be making their way.
Scientists like meteorologists?
Yeah.
There we go.
Their way into the workplace here over the next few years, okay? Maybe some of them will discover meteorology and make that a career choice. Predicting the weather can be difficult, but it can also be very challenging and very rewarding. Hope this forecast is rewarding as we're going to see a little bit cooler weather on the way here over the next few days. This weekend, I know it's Mother's Day weekend. A lot of people planning stuff outdoors, including yourself,
yes,
Lauren.
I'm still holding out hope for a sunny Saturday.
Yeah, there's going to be some showers, thunder showers in the forecast, so keep that in mind. I think the best bet on Saturday is going to be west of the Pecos River, but they are going to be around through the Mother's Day weekend as we'll see another warm-up on the way into next week, so at least we're going to get some cooler temperatures out of this.
All right. I mean, I always like a good cold front. Thanks for watching CBS 7 News at 9 on the CW. We've got more news coming up tonight at 10.